like a geo.
Stationary.
Yes, where the orbit on Earth, where you send something to space,
Geostationary.
Geosynchronous.
The Arthur C. Clarke orbit.
So it's not in geosynchronous orbit, whereby the orbit of the object set up is like what Jeff Bezos wants to do with heavy industry. Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin, which was part of what I was on, his end result is to put heavy polluting industry into geosynchronous orbit around the Earth. So polluting industries are up 350, 250 miles, 300 miles up into space, and room for people to live there. And so people working that industry would spend a period of time, say 2 weeks, and then come back down on Earth for 2 weeks. By that time, Earth has resumed its natural state and is back in harmony, and all the things that we know about global warming, what global warming is doing, have not happened because we've rescued the Earth. So I said to Mr. Bezos, Jeff, I interviewed him while shooting the documentary on going up into space. I interviewed him, and I said in the interview with Jeff, that'll take 100 years, and we don't have. I hate to bring this to you, but we don't have 100 years of the kind of destruction we're doing. We don't have that amount of time. So I said to him, but we don't have 100 years. And he said, gotta have hope. Without hope, what have we got? So we're hoping, that all the things we're trying to do now. I talked to, his name is Mitchell. He won the Nobel Prize for chemistry in 21. What? What's she? No, it's. Maybe that guy did, but the guy I'm talking about is in Princeton, and his name is Mitchell. He won the Nobel Prize for chemistry. In that, what do you call things that combine quickly? What? Like bonding. Anyway, he won it because he hastened the ability of chemistry to do that. So he was in Princeton, and I was doing this interview show called I Don't Understand. And it was a fun show to do because I don't understand anything. Well, in fact, none of us understand anything. How does this microphone work? How does a microphone work?
Yeah.
Okay? You think you know, but you really don't know. For example, from my understanding, microphones and radios work through crystal vibrates. So crystal's vibrating here, and it vibrates in your radio or your television set. It vibrates immediately as this crystal is struck. The piece of crystal that's taken from the large piece of crystal vibrates immediately, faster than the speed of light. And nobody knows what the answer is to that. We don't know what the answer is. Is it entanglement? Which is self-explanatory. Everything's entangled. Now that's what I think it is. And I wrote a book called Boldly Go, based on the idea that everything's entangled, not a new idea, but that in that entanglement, you can join the vibration, if you will, by being aware, prayer, caring, being with the flow, whatever. I think that if you're into the entanglement flow, you're with the universe, and it's not a new idea, it's really age old, but I kind of think the universe is taking care of me based on so many things that look to be ominous and terrible turn out to be, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. And it turned out to be, if not for the better, at least it wasn't as bad as it seemed. And I'll go with this because I think it's an interesting story. So I did an album when I was shooting Star Trek. I did an album called The Transformed Man, and that please, the two of you, keep it to yourself. Okay? It's not a terrible album. The concept was an interesting one, I thought, because Decca Records, who was popular at the time, said, "Would you like to make an album?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll make an album. I'll make an album." But what'll the album be about? Well, I don't know. The album will be about. I know what I'll do. I'll do the album about great literature, and we'll set it to music, and we'll segue into a song that is either part of the philosophy of the song, of the literature, or it's opposite. It opposes it, and I'll just figure it out. So, like, I did the speech from Hamlet: to be or not to be. That's the question. Is it? That was the Shakespearean thing. Segues into the song. It was a very good year. About a guy saying, I'm 22 and I'm 25. And it's a good year. That combination, I thought, that's interesting. I did Cyrano de Bergerac. I may climb to no great heights, but I will climb alone. And it goes into a drug song where the drug addict can't climb alone. Like I think I did Mr. Tambourine. Okay? So I will climb alone. Mr. Tambourine Man. Okay? So now the record drops. Record now ready to be released, and you do a lot of publicity. You get on everything. Now I was on the Johnny Carson show. So I'm in rehearsal, and I do the 6 minutes, to be or not to be, may climb to a great height, and then segue. And the producer, Freddie de Cordova. I'll be forgetting a lot of names as I talk to you, but somehow some names stick, and I don't know why. Freddie de Cordova. Why would I remember the name of the producer of the Johnny Carson show? I have no idea. Anyway, he comes up to me, and he says, Bill, that's 6 minutes long. You can only do 3 minutes. Which do you want to do? Do you want to do the verbiage, or do you want to do the songs? Where are you going? Did he have to go to the bathroom? Where did he go? Why would a guy get up in the front row and leave? And I'm standing up there like, how do you do? And the guy said, and leaves. Excuse me, sir. You hurt my feelings. So, he'll be back, I tell you. He's not coming back. He is not coming back. He is going. Are you related? Married, sister, brother? You don't know. What? He's sad. He had a dinner reservation. So he sat down front. And oh my God, I've got to eat my apple pie. I forgot. I understand that.
I feel like putting on my mask and walking around there.
No, but you know, have you ever peed in your pants? I mean, there are times when I've been asked, for example, on the story I'm going to tell you, do you ever wear the panties?
The pads. Depends.
Did you have dinner already? How was it? No, listen to me. I really was joking. People get up and leave all the time on that. You what? You're a substitute. Well, that's pretty good, but it's not exactly the same. Because you're already here. So I decide to do the song, Mr. Tambourine Man. So now I'm in front of the American audience, millions of people, and I'm in a like short spot. Everybody wants to get on the Johnny Carson show. So I'm doing, and the band strikes up, and I'm doing Mr. Tambourine Man! And I look over at Johnny Carson, he's going, that's what he did. And everybody laughed. And the album sold to 2 people over there. But Ben Folds, the same 2 people, I can't get over that. Ben Folds is a great American musician, entertainer. What? What did you? What did she say? Ben Folds 5. That's right. That was his first group, and then he went on to be an American treasure. And so he heard the album. Years later, he heard the album, called me, and said, I'd like to work with you. And I met him, and he wrote a song for me on his album Fear of Pop, which was his most popular album, and the song I did on Fear of Pop was the most. Anyway, it was very successful. And I'm back in the singing business. So this is how the universe is taking care of me. So now, a while ago, a few months ago, he calls and he says, I'm now artistic director at the Kennedy Center. Would you like to come entertain at the Kennedy Center? I said, yeah, oh my God. Yeah, the Opera House at the Kennedy Center, 70-piece orchestra. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'll do that. And not only that, I had just finished an album which we called Bill, and it's on Spotify now. And it got great reviews, like Breathless, and it was great reviews. And we were enjoying the process of writing songs so much. We wrote 13 songs for the album, and then we continued to write. Robert Chernow, Dan Miller of They Might Be Giants, and I started. See, the same people who bought my album. Right? And so the 3 of us wrote 25 songs. Among the songs was, so I say to them, I'm going to go down, I'm going to Texas to get on a spaceship and I'll meet you, I had to be in New York, I'll meet you for dinner in New York, Dan and Robert, and we meet, and I'm going to go into space. And they say, well, we got to write a song about space. So we start making notes about what it would be like to go into space. And one of the first calls I made when I got back down onto land, I called Robert up. I said, you know those notes we made about song and space? Forget about it. It has nothing to do with what happened up there. So we made another song. But my point is, I had material already written to do what turned out to be an enormously successful appearance at the Kennedy Center, and it's going to be a documentary, probably called Live at the Kennedy Center, something like that. And perhaps more importantly, is the song we wrote about space is called So Fragile, So Blue. It's a great song. It's done with 65-piece orchestra behind me. And entwined in the lyric of So Fragile, So Blue is the phrase, what can we do? And it mounts, what can we do? And finally, I said as powerfully as I could into the microphone, Ben Folds said to me when I'd come in, it was a Friday night to do the show, and I came in on a Thursday to rehearse as best I could with the 70-piece orchestra, about 70 musicians, all being paid. There's very limited rehearsal time. So I'm there on a Thursday afternoon, and Ben says to me, you know, have you ever been in front of a 70-piece orchestra? And I said, no, I have been at the Hollywood Bowl. I was in front of 18,000 people in front of Hollywood Bowl, but it wasn't with the orchestra. What I had done there was I was playing around, in the living room and the bathroom with Sounds of the Deep. There was an album out some years ago with whale sounds.
Humpbacks?
So I had just come across a poem by, what's his name? Whales Weep Not. D.H. Lawrence. Thank you, God. That's wild. Imagine there's a poem about D.H. Lawrence. So I was playing around with this thing where they say the sea is cold, but the sea contains the hottest blood of all. Okay? So now I was working with, oh, they say the sea is cold. Okay, laughable, right? So I said to the guy, I bet you don't know his name, the guy who's now retired but headed up the Los Angeles, what? Do you know his name? Okay. He retired, but in any case, this guy says to me, do you have anything you'd like to do at the Hollywood Bowl? In front of, I don't know whether any of you have been to the Hollywood Bowl, but it goes on forever. 18,000 people up there. Wow. And in fact, Neil Diamond did his hot August night from the Hollywood Bowl. And I was there, and in the hot August night, there were people in the trees, and he's thanking the people in the trees. And it was like a famous moment. And I've been asked to be at the Hollywood Bowl with a TH, right? Lawrence poem, Wales Weep Not, with in front of 18,000 people. And the only place I've done it is in my bathroom. Where I flush the toilets and nobody will hear me. What? And I did it. I got front, swallowed my gum. I say the sea is cold. And you go, what the hell is it doing? And all the noise that was there was so. It was as quiet as that. And I forgot what the finale is, and then they applauded. It worked. Which is the same feeling I had as when I was doing So Fragile, So Blue. Entwined in the lyrics is, what can we do? What can we do? And I don't know, essentially, where I am in the music, because there's no tune to it. It's got orchestrations for 70 pieces. But like Ben Folds said, I'm a pianist and I play with symphony orchestra all the time, and sometimes I don't know where I am. I'm just hoping that I'll end at the same time they do. Now, Jesus, what do you do with that? And in fact, here's what I did, and it's just between us. I'm not kidding. If you tell a soul, you'll never be allowed on this ship again. And not only that, you'll get COVID. So don't tell anybody what I'm about to tell you. So I said, look, there's so many words in these 7 songs that I'm doing. I need a teleprompter. They said, well, we got a teleprompter back there. So I said, let me see it. So they got a nice large screen, but that's a long throw, so I'm looking. Can you make the font a little bigger? A little bigger, please. A little bigger. And finally, it's one word on the television screen. I want to, so that's not going to work. Can you get it closer? No, I can't get it closer. So not only am I got a problem with the words, in rehearsal, they're playing, and I'm going, where the hell am I? What comes? And I had a recording of it, and as my wife would testify, I'd be walking around the house listening to it. Okay, I got that. I couldn't find out where I was. I didn't know where I was. So the guy who wrote the orchestrations said, I'll tell you what, they can put me on a television set there where the audience can't see it, and I'll go faster or slower. That's a good idea. But instead of being on a television set, could you sit right there? And I'll be reading the words, you know, and every so often I'll look at you and they'll go like that, a little faster. Or you'll go like that, oh, slow down a little bit. And that's what we did. I had a guy conducting me while the conductor's conducting him, them, and I got the words on both sides, and it's working perfectly. And the first thing I said when I came on stage was, music is everywhere. They didn't even laugh. It's total silence. I got him. And then I finished with, what can we do? And the guy's going like this. So the music's still going. I said, well, what can we do? The guy's going like this. I hadn't come to the end yet. So then I said, what can we do? And the music ended. And that's what they did. They stood up and applauded. And I had 3 curtain calls. I couldn't get off the stage, and the whole thing was a major success. All because the universe has taken care of me. So not only that it was a laughable record to begin with, turns out to be a triumph at the one of the great music places in the United States. Preceded by the fact that I was asked to go up into space and